Good afternoon and a very big and warm welcome to our distinguished panel today. We have with us Professor Dr. Yogesh Goswami from Vaishnav Institute. We have Dr. Dilip Patnaik from Medicaps University, our Vice Chancellor, and we have Dr. Amol Gore. He is from Oriental University, all our Vice Chancellors, and we have Professor Dr. Anand Misra, Registrar of Shri Aurobindo University. So once again, a very warm welcome for this very important discussion today on the evolving role of Vice Chancellors in the 21st century. Traditionally the Vice Chancellors were seen as the administrators, primarily focusing on compliance, on governance, on institutional functioning. But today, the higher education is at really a crossroad. Universities, they face unprecedented challenges. We have rapid technology disruptions. We have the demand for global collaborations. We have questions of financial sustainability of our institutions. So there is an urgent need for inclusivity and access, and most important, the responsibility to prepare the students in a world of uncertainty. So the role of Vice Chancellor is also changing. It's really changing dramatically, and the expectation has totally shifted. In this 21st century, we are considered to be visionaries. We are considered to be leaders who can anticipate this change, who can embrace the innovations, and who can guide the institutions through an increasingly complex global landscape. So obviously, we are in an age which is defined by technological disruptions, I would use the word, interdisciplinary researches, global competition, and the urgent need, as I said, to prepare our students for the careers and for the industries which actually don't even exist today. So we as Vice Chancellors, we sit at an intersection of transition and transformation. We require a very careful balance between academic freedom versus accountability, between research excellence and social responsibility, between global engagement and the local impact. So there are so many diverse areas, and to discuss and to explore this evolution, today we have a very distinguished panel of our leaders who bring with them diverse expectations, experiences and insights. So over the next 50 minutes, we are going to dive into how Vice Chancellors can move beyond being only administrators but become visionaries and shape not only their universities but the future of higher education and the future of society. So we will get started. To set the tone, I am going to begin with you, Professor Goswami. With artificial intelligence, digital campuses and online learning reshaping the higher education, how can Vice Chancellors harness the technology to future-proof their institution while still preserving the human essence of education?
Yeah. Yes. First, thank you, Dr. Bindal, for giving me opportunity for this. Yes, this is true. We are facing, we are moving for digital transformation. We are dealing with Gen Zs this time, and this is the right time when we think about new kind of campus. The campus in future, the campus may be different. The campus may be ageless, even we don't know what the future of that. At the same time, we should equip our campus fully. Digital campus should be there. That is one thing. But at the same time, humanity should be there. And that is why we have to improvise our value-based questions. At the same time, we should emphasize on Indian knowledge system with this. And from my side, the vision should be now. The vision should be more. Why we are expecting? Because nobody knows the future. In the when we talk about in future, we will talk about uh, the issue of age. Health facilities continuously improving. So we have to take care of all those things. Online is there. We are facing the challenges with the online system also. So the system should be such that at the one time we should have digital campus, but at the same time we should provide our faculty many workshops, many activities. So to empower faculty is also an important thing. That can build the setup.
I think you're so right. The future campuses are not only going to be ageless, but they are going to be boundaryless. So, Professor Goswami, beyond the digital transformation, what role do you see Vice Chancellors playing in fostering the innovation, entrepreneurship, bringing the ecosystems in the campus?
One thing is, we now whatever we are thinking, whatever our vision is, this should be interdisciplinary also, because we cannot bound any discipline now. Every problem that we are facing in the society, every problem is having interdisciplinary role. So we should talk about everything in the interdisciplinary manner, as our new education policy also suggesting the same. So to cope up all the issues of you are saying age and boundaries, one thing is all the universities should come together to think on to get the problems from the industries. Then one thing is industry academia relation should be good. Second thing is even universities should cooperate each other to get some new solutions of the issues. We all are working in for Vision 2047 India. So all things should be for in that direction only, and also at the same time, we are also having our SDG goals. So achieve the SDG goals. So everything, whatever we are planning, our education system, our research, whatever we are facilitating our faculty member, everything should be cope up with Vision 2047 and that. Yes, this is also true. Boundary, when we are talking about boundary less, so boundary should be reduced from our Vice Chancellor to our faculty members and students also. There should be no hard bound rooms, I believe.
That's a very powerful point, I would say. But innovation doesn't stop at technology. It actually extends deeply into the excellence of research and academics. So, Professor Patnaik, how do you think Vice Chancellors can encourage the interdisciplinary research, strengthen the global recognition, and at the same time address the national and local priorities?
Thank you, Miles. Wonderful question. Great question. The research, okay, this is research required. And we are also now at present also, the faculties are doing research. Now the question is how we can encourage for interdisciplinary research. Interdisciplinary research, it is not only inside or within an university. It should also go beyond the university. So most of the time when we think about this interdisciplinary research, most of we people are thinking that's okay, this department can do research with the other department. So this, okay, but beyond that we can think every university is a unique university. Someone is having their strength is biology, and someone's strength is engineering. So why don't you start a biomedical engineering there also? So that is in that line we can see. Now this whole globe has become a small village. With this technology, connectivity, we can do that. And just now what we have discussed, that robotic surgery and everything what we are doing. So interdisciplinary research is not confined to only one particular subject, and it should be a society oriented. Now question arises how we can inculcate that habit and with this faculty members. The faculty members, they need some encouragement. It is not only these instruments or equipment or furnitures or the infrastructure that is there. That culture has to be developed. How the culture will be developed? When we say the faculty members, always we encourage them, do research, do research, do research. By saying and doing research, how can they do that? So they need to be handholded. They need to be told that how we can do that, and they must have a purpose for that. And they should feel more relaxed also. What I have seen that the more one is relaxed, the better they perform. They should be first relaxed. They should not be given all this stuff, all the, what in the initial we discuss. We have become very bureaucratic, and so many with this, and we are teaching also some mechanically. So he takes it as a load. When a teacher is not feeling it is in his own work, or if he is not enjoying that work, he cannot do research on that. He is only doing as a job. So once upon a time we were called as a guru. So that was our this passion. Now it is a teacher. It has become our profession. The profession means from time to time we are very much professional. This time we will come, this time we will go, this much work I will do. So everything we quantify with that. It has to come from within. And once interest should be generated. And as a leader, what do we think? First of all, we would identify what is his own interest, where he gets this pleasure out of that. It might not be his subject what he is teaching. It might be something else. And there is no bar also or barrier also. A person of engineering, he does some research in psychology. So that is the interdiscipline. Interdisciplinary research starts from within, then it goes to the university, and beyond university we can go.
So very rightly put, purpose, interest, I would even use the word incentive.
Yes.
Very good strategies, but what do you think would be most effective for nurturing the faculty development, retaining, more important, retaining academic talent under the visionary leadership?
That's really very challenging. Every morning we also face the same situation, how we can retain the better faculty, best teacher. Everything depends on the motivation. What is his purpose to stay here? What is his main motivation? I don't have any hesitation to say that many of we people, our faculty members, the first motivation comes from this salary. That's okay. It's quite obvious. We should not hesitate to discuss on that. But second motivation is when he gets some salary, what next? He needs some recognition. He needs some appreciation. And what next if he gets that? What next? Then he feel accomplished when he does something for the people, something to the society. So when they do something for the society, feel accomplished, then the ultimate pleasure he gains. So retain that particular faculty. Three things we have to do. First thing, we have to find what is his interest, what is his passion, and with that passion, how much and how long we can go with him. It is not possible for every administrator or every vice chancellor to retain all the faculty, meet all the requirements. Everyone has some professional interest, some personal interest also. With this, we have to find it out. That's why we have to have a roadmap for that. And that roadmap, one shoe cannot fit to all. Faculty to faculty, individual. Here we have to empower more and more leaders to identify what is the requirement, number one, and create an ecosystem where he can feel comfortable. And anyway, the teacher has to be given more and more opportunity and respect in the society. Unless we create a respect for the society, I don't have any hesitation to confess and say that the teaching is not their first choice. When they do not get anything, most of the people, they come to the second choice. So they marry to the person who is not their first choice. So then they have to start love it. So first create respect for within campus also. What we do also, the first we say, his self-respect should be maintained. This is number one. And number two, he has to be given, he should allow to be fail. Let them allow to fail. And a teacher cannot do any wrong. It's not true. He can also do some wrong. And empower them. And then give them free space. So these are the things. And ultimately, we will come, what the facility, other things. if you give them a free space, he will think of that. What are the opportunity available somewhere? I know this person, I know that person. Then he can go and find it of this. So this is the way he has to choose, and only we can mentor them, we can support them.
Thank you so much, Professor Patnaik. This is absolutely bang on truth. And we do know that research drives the recognition, but ultimately the universities exist for students and they exist for society. So, Professor Gore, how can the Vice Chancellor ensure inclusivity, diversity and social responsibility while also preparing the students to thrive into a rapidly changing future world?
All right, so now the tone has been set. We all agree that there is an unprecedented change. We have a digital transformation, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and so many other new world technologies and management philosophies that are already in the Indian market, if you like. However, when we think about diversity, inclusion and social responsibility, I think these words have come from People, Profit, Planet, the triple bottom line framework. They have also come from the SDGs. We talk about the United Nations, the social, the economic platform that they wish that all people on the planet are prosperous, peaceful, happy. So that's a big picture. But then not essentially everywhere in the world the same perspective exists. Think about the recent administration in the United States. In the recent days they actually dismantled DEI. So it's not the same everywhere in the world. Having said that, in Indian context, if you look at it, it has sent a very powerful message. In fact, we are strong promoters of diversity, inclusion and social responsibility. The reason being quite obvious that with the goals that our Prime Minister has set, I think bringing many people into the mainstream has been some kind of a, requires some kind of effort which could be moderate to phenomenal, and that is where we are looking forward to having all sorts of people into our universities. When we think about my own university here at Indore, it's a Oriental University. Is if you look at the location, it comes under rural part of Indore. It's called as Jakhya, but then it's actually on the border. On one side we have the urban Indore, and the other side we have the Jakhya village. So we are promoting the tribal people, the people from the villages also to be a part of our university. We have various kinds of awareness programs, scholarships and also preparatory programs. Currently, I was just discussing a few minutes back, in fact, how to prepare some kind of a breach courses for these people. Many people from the rural areas need some kind of a training which they have not had ever in their life. Hindi being the language of communication of the masses, you will find that many of them are not so good in English, especially when we think of medical sciences and engineering. The English becomes imperative. Although NEP 2020 implementation has already started and it promotes regional languages and it in fact promotes mother tongue in many cases, still the fact remains that English being the major language of communication in sciences area, people have to at least have a good grasp of the subject matter, or English as a language. This is one of the things that I have been experiencing in the last few days. Another area which I see when we think about inclusivity, there is something in the rural areas. There are some specificities here in Madhya Pradesh. Many people feel that okay, they are from the farmer's family, so they are poor. That's not really the case. They can be very very prosperous farmers, but their children do not want to take up some vague kind of education. They want education to cater to their needs. So we are probably moving from pedagogy to eutagogy as it is called now. It's self-determined learning and not just teaching learning process as we know of. So eutagogy is going to be the future when we think about inclusivity and social responsibility. It's not an add-on to a university's mission, it is the university's mission. So I feel going forward, there are many steps that universities need to take in order to really achieve diversity, inclusivity and social responsibility.
So that's a brilliant perspective, and you spoke of tribal welfare. Well, Shri Aurobindo University is primarily known to be have its strength in the medical field. So we have a medical college, a dental college, a nursing college, a paramedical college, a physiotherapy college, college for speech and audiology. Having said that, we also have a law college and journalism, which is totally different. But recently we had a seminar on integrated medicine. So we encouraged people of homeopathics, Ayurveds, Unani, all of them to come forward. And why this incident was brought to my mind is that we invited tribals from depth of Madhya Pradesh. And you will be surprised, there were some people who had seen chappals for the first time in their life. But this man was treating the population with his herbs, with his tea barks, and one of them, he actually gave us the plants, which we are doing tremendously well in treatment of diabetes. So from that wood we have made glasses, we are promoting his business, and we encourage you to drink the water from that glass morning and evening, and it is showing, we are doing our scientific research on this, we are seeing the changes in blood sugar. So this is what the integration actually mean. But Professor Gore, where do you see the Vice Chancellors building the strong bridges between universities, industries and communities?
When we talk about the industry-academia interaction, this has often been very difficult, or it takes a lot of efforts from both the sides, especially from the university side, and many times people let go of it because of the amount of efforts that go into it. Signing MOUs is one thing, but then implementing MOU is just another world, if you like. Many times many things are written, but when we try to bring them into practice, it really becomes very hard. Now currently, in fact, we recently signed a MOU with IGTR, the Indo-German Tool Room, and we would like to bring a very modern program into the market, which would help the students. But then there is something about skills development, building a skill-based ecosystem, which is something it's really hard to bring, considering the kind of infrastructure that we have. It takes it's about many things, including building clusters, building science parks, which we don't have so far. That's a fact of life here. Currently, at least in Indore, we are still not reached that stage. I'm sure I've seen building of new platforms here, new infrastructure coming up, a metro and so on. So I'm sure in the near future we will reach there. Having said that, industry academia interaction is often inclusive of people taking efforts on both the sides. So as a Vice Chancellor, I can go forward and build some kind of laboratories, especially in the field of medicine, in the field of defense sector, especially since Indore and the nearby regions is in the interior. After the current war that we had 3-4 months back, we realized that on one side our borders are not safe. So Indore and the region nearby is quite safe for developing our defense infrastructure. We have built one in the Uttar Pradesh area, but similar corridors are possible in the Indore Bhopal area. So some kind of air and missile defense systems, some ammunitions, building of some kind of tanks, jackets that don't penetrate bullets, this kind of research based infrastructure research based themes are yet to come over here. This requires a lot of effort from not only the industry but also from the communities nearby. It's about creating jobs, creating a future, and since we are, as you started out by saying we are probably having jobs that don't exist at the moment but they will be there in the future. So this is what we would like to see developed. I'm sure every Indian would be proud if we are able to do this, not only the people in the region or in Indore, but from across the country.
Thank you so much. Since you're not from the state, I would like to tell you that Madhya Pradesh has one such industry in a place called Jabalpur.
Yeah.
So that is one of the most successful weapon industry we have. But again, these are very rich perspectives, and I'm so happy that we are able to share it with our audience today. Let me now just broaden the conversation and let me go on for a few open reflections for entire panel. So I'll start with you, Professor Patnaik. If you had to describe let me just keep it open. If you had to describe the Vice Chancellor of the future in just 3 words, what would they be?
Okay, that's a interesting Vice Chancellor of the future. Vice Chancellor of the future, this is we have discussed, all the panel members have discussed. This world is passing through great changes. And what tomorrow, what type of job will come, what type of technology will come, and what type of this people habit and the culture will come, it is very difficult to this. But one thing is there, the society will remain, the society will stay, the requirements will there. And when we call the university, that is universal education, where you can groom the students for that. For that, who will groom the students? Only the teachers. So that's why this university's growth only depends on 3 things: faculty, faculty and faculty. So with this, what I see, if to build a good university as a Vice Chancellor and the future Vice Chancellor, my message should be, first you should have a good faculty there.
Very right.
And whatever this faculty, this plays a very vital role. And they can create or they ruin 35 generations of people to whom they teach. This is number 1. And number 2, the Vice Chancellor should have, the future Vice Chancellor, he should listen more, empower more, and act boldly.
So receptive.
Yeah, receptive.
And
He should be
revolutionary.
agile. He should be agile and adaptive. He should not be sort of very skeptical or fear the technology. Technology will come and you have to adapt it. If you do not adapt it, someone will come and score a goal over you and they will go. So that one has to be adaptive. The quickly you learn and the quickly you adapt, you will win the race. So whether it is an university, whether it is an industry, whether it is a society, whatever it may be. And the third thing I will say, this future, one should be a mindset of visionary, collaborative and adaptive. And what I mean exactly visionary and collaborative means he should allow more and more people. He should not be strict with these rules and regulations and the bureaucratic mindset. And he should empower the people. He should trust the people. And he should make the other people comfortable. And then the faculty members also, the faculty will stay. The faculty member, he should provide a platform and an ecosystem for them. So this I say, the role of the future Vice Chancellor should be, he should be visionary, he should be adaptive, and he should be in a position to adapt and take these challenges. That should be my.
Do you want to add something to this?
I would add in 3 words, so just 3 words from my side: transformative, agile and collaborative, as you already mentioned. So transformative and agile is what I would add to this.
I think good Vice Chancellor or future Vice Chancellor should also have a good team. He should continuous updation of the leaders. He should create a second line of good leaders.
Very good.
And at the same time, person must have bold vision above all regulations or whatever it is. We should have a bold vision and at the same time adaptive to all whether they are the technologies or the suggestions from our fellow leaders. So humility should be there. What I believe, agile should be there, and but boldness and but the big real challenge, we should create new leaders to take up the challenges, because universities are not here to just to create knowledge. It should be disseminated through the society, and these universities are not for 10 or 20 years. It's for next 100 or to a few hundred years. As we know from the Nalanda, or we talk about Cambridge, they all are having 100 and 100 years of experience. So this should be vision from as a Vice Chancellor.
Professor Anand, would you like to add something to this?
Definitely. What I would like to say, that everyone says that the Vice Chancellor should be a visionary, but for keeping that vision on and moving on that path, he should be given a proper autonomy, where we are lacking in our system. So that autonomy does not mean that he is free to do anything, but he will be able to manage a gap between corporate and academia. So that is a very much important thing, what corporate need and how academia can prepare people to come and serve to the nation. So that will be the first priority. We should be able to manage or create a global ecosystem. When we talk about collaboration, I think we are just trying to get the marks, but actual collaboration requires when the strength of one university can be utilized by other university without having competition. It should be a collaboration to serve a nation in a better way. So what I will say, that creating a global ecosystem is a very much important requirement or expectation of us from our Vice Chancellors.
That's an amazing perspective from all of you. Thank you. And let me jump to my next broad-based question. What is the biggest obstacle to shifting from administration to visionary, and how can we overcome it?
Okay, I take that question. Well, it is like this, till the moment I came over here, I will tell you that I have been working for on day-to-day matters, operational things, probably just 5% of that has been futuristic or strategic planning or foresight oriented. So managing the day-to-day matters takes all my time away, and very little time is left for vision and development and so on. Many times I am a signatory in many places, so I spend my time signing over and over my surname multiple times in a day. That's not really what a Vice Chancellor is. A Vice Chancellor should spend therefore some time, maybe on a Sunday. I don't believe a Vice Chancellor should have any holiday, by the way. Sunday is a time, best time when he can be peaceful somewhere and think about strategic planning, think about how the university would look like in the future, so that Monday morning when they come to sign 100 papers, he can be selective and decide what would be the implementation on a year-on-year basis, based on what was the performance in the last year and what we intend to achieve in the next year. So it is more outcome-based rather than how many papers I have signed during the day. It's more about outcome and not about the quantity. Another aspect is when we think about overcoming the obstacles, there are multiple things that comes to one's mind. One of the things is, as a Vice Chancellor, many places in India, especially in the government, if you observe, the Vice Chancellor comes often once in a year to give out degree certificates to 1,000 students. In many private universities that has not been so anymore, and it's just not there anymore. However, I call a Vice Chancellor as a working Vice Chancellor. So he would put his hands in his pocket and just go around the campus to see how his students are performing, what the faculty is doing, whether they need some help from his side, what kind of achievements the students are bringing to the campus. Somebody needs to clap for them. So for that, Vice Chancellor sitting in the office or just about his degree granting ability, he goes beyond to become a launch pad for the students to be good citizens of the country and making of the future leaders. So this is his role. So that is what is from my side.
Yeah, I want to add one is resistance to change. Sometimes we feel
So true.
a resistance to change in the faculty members and others. So that this also is sometimes
That's
a
a
challenge
huge
to us.
challenge,
Yeah,
yes.
they don't want to change the things, whatever. And we are all observing that AI is coming and the digital campus is coming, and we have to change. There is no other way for that. For example, where from we are coming from, if we talk about Bloom's taxonomy, then we taught from level 1 and 2 only. Then their level 3, all the teachers most of the time teaching in level 1 and 2 and 3, but with the AI we have to
Move on.
move from 4, 5 and 6. Now teacher responsibility is just to give every assignment about 4, 5 and 6 only. 1, 2, 3 can be get
by
by
students.
AI, directly by the students. So this is the biggest challenge that we are facing, and we have to get rid of this thing.
Professor Patnaik.
Yeah, most of the things has already been discussed, but I want to add a couple of things. If you allow me, I will just cite one example from my own experience. I joined one university, and after 10-15 days I was trying to be acclimatized with the system, but during that time my Chancellor once came and visited, and suddenly he came into my office, and he saw there is a piles of this, heap of this files are there,
So true.
and he saw and asked me, Professor Patnaik, are you going to go through all this thing? I told yes. Oh yes, please see me in my office. He walked away, and I rushed to his office, and I asked this, what happened this? He told, okay, just tell me what you do in the file. What are they written? I told there are some requests, some faculties are requesting some leave, maybe some advances, someone wants some summer break, and someone some says the semester break, and someone is going for their, he is claiming his leave or for his. So can you grant him leave what it is more than he is entitled for? No, I can't. Can you reduce his entitlement? What is this? No, I can't. Then what you are doing? Everything is written there. Every rule is there. This is not your role. Your secretary can do that. If doing this, all this clerical job, is, do you need a vice chancellor? So that means, and he told, look at this. You have a huge office. There is a sofa and there is a center table. Go and stretch your leg. Think of that. If you can just bring 1 or 2 ideas, implement in my university, then it is done. Nothing. Go out and have a just you want to take tea, or if you just roam around, you need not all these things. So that means from that day I learned, empower people, create more people, trust people. You should not do this what others can do, and only this. And if everything is defined, everything is in the workbook and this law book, this one teacher is entitled, but this one is good. This why this requirement of vice chancellor? The vice chancellor has to think about this, what I can do next for this my people, and next for the society, what we can create, how we can go. And Professor Amol has a very categorically told that one has to, he doesn't have any leave, he doesn't have any holiday. Every time, 365 days, 24/7, he is vice chancellor. He has to think about this university. And second, he should be bold enough also. At times what happens, he is also sometimes entangled with the rules and regulation of all these regulatory authorities. And sometimes there is a rule in the statute, maybe in ordinance, maybe regulation. He knows that it is wrong. Conscience doesn't permit, but he doesn't have any sort of this authority or autonomy. It is not authority. I at times feel spineless also do that, because I can't do that. Even I think I do have some invisible power also, but if I do something, he is a very good professor and he is a very good person, but he is not qualified, he is not a PG student, he has not published this much of paper, I don't have that much authority to appoint him as a professor.
That's so true.
So how can I do that? So
that's
when
because
we
the apex regulatory council.
regulate, so there are so many things. It is not about from the only management, not from the society. It comes from the regulatory authority also. At times you feel that is not good, and that also we have to do. So coming from this bureaucratic mind, administrative mind to the visionary, first thing what I do also in our university we do also, you empower people. What this Vice Chancellor is doing, I don't say that you create a lot of clones of yours, but you create some leadership, you distribute that. And everyone's responsibility. It is not only the Vice Chancellor responsibility. Make collective responsibility. Instead of that, we create a Dean's Council. Small things that what it is. Why the Vice Chancellor will take the decision? Why all the responsibility come to him? He should think about this. He should be a visionary. But all this day-to-day affairs, let the people who are doing this, because they are really living this. The beer know where the shoe pinches. The professor know, the faculty know, the department know, the dean know what to do that. Let them address that. So, if we empower more and people, create more and more leader, this lot of administrative load can be reduced. Then we can have more and more time. And second, interact with people. Listen more. And if you go out, more and more people, you can learn more and more things and learn quickly from others' best practices. And the same thing cannot be replicated here. We do have a different environment, we have a different resources, but what are the essence is that we can implement that. This way we can gradually come out from this administrative role, but till the regulatory authorities and other things are there, we can have to only compromise with that, but what is the maximum possible we can do that.
Yeah, at least we face in this university, we have to abide by National Medical Council, Dental Council of India, Indian Nursing Council, Rehabilitation Sciences, Physiotherapy Council, Bar Council of India. So definitely for sure, so many. But out of all of us, Professor Anand Misra has been in the university system forever. So he would know exactly what obstacles are there.
Before going to the obstacle, I'll define VC in a new term. A VC should not be a Vice Chancellor, he should be a visionary and a creator who creates opportunity for the students, who creates opportunity for the faculties for doing the research and a good academia. So by that he can fill this gap. And regarding this administrative things, definitely Dr. Patnaik has very nicely defined that you have to empower the things. So we need to develop a system. I think university system was initially made in that way only. I have seen previous Vice Chancellor where entering into his room was very difficult for even a HODs or so there was a gap. But now time has changed. It is like a team, a captain or team leader is always open for a people to have a discussion. Students even can reach to the Vice Chancellor. I remember my days, standing outside the university campus was a big achievement for us that at least we could reach there. So that is there, and the university system was having a administrative and academic differentiation. So from the inception it was planned that Vice Chancellor will be the academic head and will be looking more on vision and getting the work done with the other support staff. So I think that will be a great thing.
Thank you, Anand. That's actually so true. But another question for my panel. How can collaboration between universities rather than competition, which Professor Misra mentioned earlier, how can that shape the future of higher education? We'll begin with you because you brought the competition part.
See, right now every university is thinking other university as a competitor. But if you talk about, as I said, the global ecosystem, once the ecosystem is being made, growth of one university will grow the ecosystem. So each body's strength, for example, I know that Oriental University is doing very good, fantastic in automobile. I am a physiotherapist. If we collaborate automobile with the physiotherapy field, we will be able to design a car which will be giving less stress to the cervical or a lumbar thing of a person while driving a Hyundai car or any other car, whatever car it is. So like this collaboration will give a strength not only to the university as an individual, but as a contributor to the society also. Medicaps University is doing fantastic in computer sciences or artificial intelligence. I know in medical field nowadays artificial intelligence is playing a fantastic role. During COVID time also we have used that for reading the MRI readings and all. So if my university can collaborate with Medicaps University for their resources along with our medical resources to find out a better solution for the public. Like Vaishnav University, they are also pioneer in engineering. So mechanical engineering will give us a biomechanical things. Again, I am a physiotherapist. Biomechanics play a fantastic role in enhancing the performance of a sports person. So if I am able to collaborate with the Vaishnav University, take their biomechanical sciences strength to our medical strength and collaborate in getting a better performance of a sport. Like that, each and everyone can grow.
I think you're so right, because when we talk of MOUs, when we talk of collaboration, we see beyond our city. Our city is so powerful with so much knowledge hubs of all the universities. I think today maybe we should take the step forward for being a collaborative institute to each other. But anything you want to add?
Yeah, I agree. You know, in some cases, you know, the facilities can be very expensive. In that case, you know, some kind of a collaboration, a joint partnership of some sort can help a lot. Libraries, for instance, you know, many times the books or the e-books, if you like, are not utilized to that extent. So if we have 2 or 3 universities collaborating together and paying EPISCO and ProQuest and many other resources, I think that helps a lot. Not everybody's research is published, not everything is explored. So just instead of leaving it underutilized, we can bring up you know, some kind of a collaborative mechanism by which the universities can you know, pool the resources. Another area which I feel is I mean a budding area, if you like, when we think about universities only as on the ranking system, you know, we are competitors for sure, because we have NIRF which tells us where we stand, but then sharing the resources, or when we think about you know, you rightly pointed out, we really have a Hyundai training center at Oriental. So yes, ergonomics and interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary research networks can go a long way.
That's so true. And to begin with the offer of collaboration, we are sitting in this fantastic studio today, and I would welcome any of you who would want to use these for your podcasts, for your interviews, for your sessions. You're most welcome to avail this.
I want to add one more thing on this collaboration part. So collaboration is not only this for the using the resources or the equipments or what this knowledge. It can be also about the cultures. So what we do also, we have started hand-holding some new universities, or those universities not working. They are struggling for their some sort of say quality maintenance, or they are struggling for some sort of teaching abilities. They don't have the trained manpower and things. So there can also we should collaborate with this other universities. And first is we have to come out from this academic arrogancy also. If I am doing something great, so I am in an illusion that this is a good thing, why I will collaborate with this. And each and every time I have seen in my career also, in the 42 years of in the university career, we always want to collaborate with this university which is a much higher rank than us. Why? Then why that university will collaborate with us? So why don't you start, the charity begins at home, why don't you start, we must handhold some other university which is not with this. And here, I am personally not in favor of this ranking. Once the ranking is there, you are creating a competition indirectly. So this is a number 1 university, that is a number 2 university, that is a 4 university. And all the universities, if you agree or not, everyone is this, what is my revenue model out of that? More the students admitted, more the revenue I will get. Unless I get more the revenue, I cannot increase the more this infrastructure. If I do not get the infrastructure, I cannot do the research. All the things, the vicious circles are there. So there I say, come out of this arrogancy and see what are the best practices there. If they are adopting some of the teaching methods, we can adopt that teaching methods also. And we have started first time here is a teaching intensives. Why not we the universities, we can send our 1 or 2 teachers in any summer or winter or somewhere. We are deputed there. You will ask our other university, you allow them, you let him go and teach there. And he can learn from this other best practices, that how this is the collaboration. Once we understand each other, we build trust, then the real collaboration will come. Otherwise this collaboration will remain in documents only. So this is what my feeling is.
Yes, it's really good, and I think it should be a purpose of CIPU also.
Yes,
what I believe.
yes.
Actually, we all are having some best practices. Each of us having some best practices. Each of us having some best fields in which they are working. Some they are faculty members. For example, I am saying our Vaishnav Institute along with others working on textile. So textile, I think, is the best in whole Madhya Pradesh. And not only this, recently we got DST project of Maheshwar sari, how to conserve, preserve Maheshwar saris. But I think the best thing is this should be used by others also. Whenever I visited the labs, first thing I am asking, what is the logbook? Everything should be used. If you are getting some very costly instruments, it should be used all the time, 24 hours. I think it should be used. And this is the parallel process to go higher above side. Na? So I think we should have some collaborative work, collaboration in not only in books but also in characterization facilities. Because I am a material scientist and I believe this collaboration is required. We have created a lab with Mitsubishi, but what is the user time? That I'm all the time I'm asking. Every person should come from the different units, should use those things because we are having. And we all also know there is a shelf life of any instrument. So yes. We should use before that.
That is so true and so correctly put, yes. Okay, just one last out of box question. If you were going to advise a new Vice Chancellor taking charge tomorrow, what's the one single piece of advice you would like to give to them?
Who is taking charge tomorrow, I will advise them or advise him this. First of all, he should be a good motivator. He should be a good role model. Unless he is a role model, because people, they see first, listens him, then he adapts. He has to be leading by example. In discipline, in whatever the activity, maybe in research or this, and he should be good motivator, taking people together. Second, he should be again adaptive. Adaptive should be there, and should be aggressively do the things, and must be having a crude confidence on himself, absolute confidence in himself. He must trust himself first, then he will trust. Then he should trust his teammates. First, trusting himself is more important. That's the first thing. Second, he should be have an ability or the idea or this interest of the empowering others. These two things are those.
I would say vision is fine, but listen to the people around you. The reason is things exist, for some reason. So it's not that people have not tried before. They might have tried, but then there is some reason why they exist in the manner or in a way that they are today. So for anybody who is joining afresh, should not only think about his own vision which he is bringing with himself or herself, but rather he should listen or should keep the students, the faculty and the staff at the heart of every decision. That is what I would say. Yeah.
I suggest for a new Vice Chancellor that he must have bold vision, first thing, and at the same time he should give good facilitator, good facilitator for all the persons, and ready to take all failure, credit of all failures, and ready to give credit of all success to others. That should create, I think, good leader in the system.
I'll add in that listen all, act wisely. Because
so correct.
Listening all will give him an idea how this system thinks. But act wisely is very important, because in India you will listen many things, but they all are not true. So you have to evaluate, act accordingly.
Thank you so much from all of you, such thought provoking insights. a brilliant discussion today. So, just to sum up before we close, just the let me highlight some of the takeaways from today's conversation. So, one, definitely redefining leadership is what we all discuss. Vice Chancellors today are just not administrators, they are visionaries who must anticipate the change, inspire transformation. We also talked of balancing roles. So, the challenge of modern leadership, which lies in balancing autonomy and accountability, innovation and tradition, global outlook and local relevance. And then we also spoke about technology and research. So, future ready Vice Chancellors must embrace the digital transformation. They must foster the interdisciplinary research. They must encourage the entrepreneurial thinking, and of course, human-centric focus. At the heart of every visionary, there is a deep commitment to students, faculty and societies. So, inclusivity, equity and relevance. These are important points, and we spoke of collaboration, we spoke of future vision. So, Vice Chancellor of future will not only lead the institutions, but the connections across disciplines is what his role would be. The nations bringing together, driving higher education as a force for social progress. So, I think it was a very, very healthy discussion where we all got new perspectives in terms of working, in terms of thinking, and in terms of better utilizing our time for the benefit of the society. So, thank you once again for this brilliant panel discussion.